Namaskar. The Garbh Sanskar, the evidence-based science. The disclosure Garbh Sanskar program has no interference with the obstetric and or gynecological aspect of management of pregnancy. There is a clear demarcation between an obstetric and Garbh Sanskar management. In no way Garbh Sanskar interferes with obstetric and or gynecological aspect of management of pregnancy. The Garbh Sanskar deals with spiritual and lifestyle advices and guidelines only. Couple is free to choose their obstetrician and hospital for the delivery. The aim of Garbh Sanskar is to create a nurturing and positive environment for the physical, mental, and spiritual well being of the fetus based on principles from ancient texts and traditions having positive modern scientific evidences. The belief was that the mother's thought, emotions, and the actions had a profound impact on developing child. Therefore, the women were advised to maintain a calm and peaceful state during pregnancy and avoid negative emotions like anger, fear, and anxiety. Garbh Sanskar centered on the expectant mother, father, and the other family members would participate in different rituals and practices to ensure the well-being of the fetus. For instance, the father would chant mantras and perform certain rituals to safeguard the baby from negative energies and invoke positive energy. The functional maternal placental fetal units like a mother supplies nutrients, hormones, growth factor and the oxygen through the placenta, and placenta itself also provides some hormones to the baby. These nutrients are available for the baby and they work on the target organ. The placental corticotrophin releasing hormone CRH as a marker pregnancy adversity and impact on the fetal neurodevelopment. This is a beautiful paper. The maternal stress could activate adrenal production of glucocorticoids that can cross the placenta and regulate the fetal brain neurogenesis. The glucocorticoids also enhances the production and the release of placental corticotrophin releasing hormone into the fetal compartment, a neuropeptide that can exert either neuroprotective or neuroimpairment effects. The excess level of glucocorticoids and placental corticotrophin releasing hormone have been associated with structural fetal brain modifications. The impaired neurotransmission and the disrupted programming of hypothalamo-pituitary axis of the fetus that involves epigenetic modification of glucocorticoid receptors gene and is linked with increased HPA axis reactivity of neonate and adverse behavioral and the emotional outcome later in the life. Additionally, maternal stress or the inflammatory condition can enhance the placental output of the serotonin to the fetal brain, leading to serotonergic dysfunction. The excess maternal stress can influence signal arising from gut microbiota to affect placental CCL signaling. The interplay between the placental 5-HT, CCL2, and other inflammatory mediators ultimately drives fetal neuroinflammation and IL-6 elevation in the fetal brain. So, possible pathophysiological mechanism linking prenatal maternal adversity to disrupted, like the glucocorticoid stress releases the inflammatory cascades, glucocorticoid they goes to the placenta. Placenta also releases the placenta corticotrophin releasing hormone, CCL signaling, serotonin, and they ultimately affect the limbic system of the baby, ultimately the brain development and the cognitive defects, emotional deficits, increased level of distress, internalizing symptoms. These all are going to affect the ultimate behavior of the baby. This is one of a beautiful picture. You can see the fetus seems to predispose a response selectivity to specific maternal unit. We propose that such responses may play a role in the development of behavioral and the emotional attunement with their mother. Here he is the mother, he's a father, and they are talking, and you see that his mouth is closed. But when they start conversation, baby starts also participating. You can notice here the baby mouth is open, means the baby wants to interact with the parents and he wants to talk inside. Means when the parents are talking, there is a direct influence on the baby. The medical literature has found that the fetus fully developed the inner ear at the week 16 of the gestation and has a functional auditory system from weeks 26. However, for the first time, the researchers at the Institute Mox in the Barcelona, Spain found the fetus begins to hear at the week 16 of pregnancy, which they observed is expressed through the specific movements of the mouth and the tongue, and they said in the press release. This is what you can see here. The baby is opening the mouth, probably he is responding to the external music system, which you will see here. External music is being played, and the baby is responding inside the womb of the mother by making different action by mouth, his face, and by the hand. Means that baby, even at the 16 weeks of gestation, respond to the external stimuli given by the music. How beautiful this is! This is really a very encouraging evidence, a scientific evidence that even at the 16 weeks, the baby responds to the external stimuli, parents' conversation, music, and sound. So 4D ultrasound shows also if the mother take a flavored tablet or a capsule, how the baby responds and the baby feels so happy about it. Another thing is if mother is smoking, then the baby gets irritated inside the womb of the mother. So these are the 4D pictures. The placental CRH as a signal of pregnancy, adversity, and impact. I'll advise you to go through it. These are the photo. These are the few papers. If you go through it, you will have a lot of information on this. There is evidence that the maternal and the fetal cortisol levels are correlated, especially in more anxious and the depressed mother. If the mother is anxious and depressed, this can alter the function of the placenta in a way that allows more cortisol to pass through the fetus. For instance, studies have linked iron and the omega 3 fatty acid to a reduced risk of developmental delays and improved cognitive performance. A review article of Journals of Ayurveda and Interactive Medicine by Chaudhary reported that several studies have suggested that Garbh Sanskar training can lead to enhanced maternal health, decrease stress levels, and better pregnancy outcome. Rakshani et al. A study which is published in International Journals of Yoga discovered that the women who underwent Garbh Sanskar training and had a lower risk of preterm labor and the pregnancy induced hypertension. So these are the various studies. A recent study published in Journals of Obstetrics and Gynecology of India, Kulkarni, explored the impact of music on cognitive development during the pregnancy. Preparation of motherhood, the International Journals of Indian Psychology, and the behavior outcome in the infants. The study demonstrated that Garbh Sanskar training was associated with improved cognitive behavior and the behavioral outcome in the infant. A study by the Singles explored that the Garbh Sanskar training on pregnancy outcome in the primary gravida woman. The study found that the woman who received Garbh Sanskar training had a lower incidence of preterm labor and low birth weight infants, indicating better pregnancy outcome. Another study by the Desai in the Journals of Bioinnovation examined the impact of Garbh Sanskar on neonate and maternal outcome and found that the women who practiced Garbh Sanskar had lower rates of complication during the pregnancy and a lower incidence of cesarean delivery. A fetal programming theory suggests that environment a fetus experiences in the womb can have a long lasting effect on its health and the development. The other theories proposes that Garbh Sanskar can enhance the fetal sensory competencies and promote emotional bonding between the pregnant woman and her fetus. The yoga, other practices such as yoga, mindfulness, music therapy have also been found to promote maternal and the fetal health during the pregnancy. The research has shown that early childhood experiences such as exposure to poverty, malnutrition, and the violence can have long lasting negative impact on cognitive and emotional development as well as the social functioning and the mental health outcome later in the life. So these are the various papers which I have gone through just to bring to your notice that the Garbh Sanskar is not an hypothetical. It's not just in ancient text, but in today's scientific era, it has scientific evidences, and there are various papers, and the research has undergone to prove that Garbh Sanskar has certainly direct impact on the fetal development, his cognitive behavior, and ultimately his health and the immune system. The Garbh Sanskar practices comprises a range of activities, ritual and the practices that aims to promote the physical, mental and spiritual development of the fetus. So, so this is all about the Garbh Sanskar which I wanted to bring to you the scientific aspect. Thank you. Namaskar.